going to talk about two author websites that I really love. These are both nonfiction author websites, and we're going to go over Cal Newport and James Clear's website. Now, as always, if you want more content like this about book marketing, author websites, developing your writing career or your podcasting career, then please like and subscribe to this channel and leave a comment. Okay, here we're going to go to James Clear's website. James Clear is the author of the phenomenal book Atomic Habits. It's very, very popular. And so right here on his homepage, there's a short description of what James Clear writes about, easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. This is his book, so there's the image of his book. It says over 50 million copies sold. Download, and then the branding, this entire website really matches the book cover. So that's really cool, and it's like very like minimal and simplistic, going with James's like sort of method of like breaking down complex topics into very simple ways and digestible language. Okay, here you have the first call to action to join his newsletter. You can download chapter 1 of Atomic Habits, and then that way he'll have you on his newsletter so that he can market to you. Now, fun fact about James Clear, he spent 3 years developing blogging twice a week and building his newsletter list, his email list. So he developed an email list of, I think, over 100,000. By the time, I think within 2 years, he had an email list of over 100,000. And so he did all of that. So he did, for 3 years, he just focused on blogging and building his audience. Then he got his book deal, and then he spent a year and a half writing his book, and then like a year and a half promoting his book. So that's a good 5 to 6 years of not making any money. He spent 5 to 6 years of working on this book before he made any money off of his book deal. And of course, when the book came out, it was a big New York Times bestseller. I think that's kind of inevitable if you have a list of 100,000 people, but anyway, just something to keep in mind. I don't think you need that big of a list in order to have a best-selling book. I think if you have 5,000 or 10,000 people on your email list, that's a great place to start, and that's personally what I'm aiming for before I go out looking for a book deal. I'm hoping to build up an email list of 5,000 or 10,000 people, and so that's just a really great way to, one, show that you have market validation for your book concept, that there are people who are interested in what you're writing about. 2, you're willing to do the marketing for the book, like you are actually like interested in doing all the different things you have to do to sell a book. It's not just writing the book, it's also promoting the book. And then 3, you have an audience already that you can launch your book to. There's nothing worse than launching to an empty room. So whatever you can to do to build your email list and have people to be like, hey, this is what I'm writing, whether it's a product, a book, a service, anything, build that email list. I cannot emphasize this enough. This is the number one indicator that you're going to be successful, being able to have a email list. And of course, yes, there are authors who are successful without email lists, but I would say that the vast majority of successful authors have email lists. Okay, so that's why this is so important to James Clear, is that his email list is at the core of his marketing and business model, and so that's why immediately there's a call to action to join his email list. Okay, so that's one. Then there's a short bio, James here. And then here's the popular articles. Oh, and then you can read his latest newsletters. What a coincidence. He wants you to do that because that's the crux of his business model. Then there's another thing. This is what we call another freebie, 30 Days to Better Habits. So in addition to the free chapter of his book that he's giving you this guide about forming habits in order to get you on, you guessed it, his newsletter. So that's how important this is. There are 2 separate calls to action. And here there are some books. So there are some products he's trying to sell. So like I said, this is a really good site. It's fairly simple. If I were to make this better, I'd put a picture of James here just so you know exactly who it is. I'd put James Clear. This is James Clear. It should say James Clear, best-selling New York Times author. This is a really simple website for someone who is as accomplished and successful as James. But it's still fairly effective, and it has all the basic elements. The one thing I would add is I'd add a call to action here to join James's newsletter, so that no matter where you are on his website, you can easily join his newsletter. So that's one thing I would do differently. But anyway, still excellent site. All right, now we're going to move on to Cal Newport. This is Cal Newport. He is another nonfiction author. So what I love about Cal Newport's site is this does a lot of really great things as well. It's a great website. So here you have a picture of Cal just looking straight at you. So immediately, like when you're on the website, you see a picture of Cal, you know who you're talking to. Here it says meet Cal Newport. All right, he's a computer scientist and best-selling author, so immediate credibility. Not only that, he's an MIT trained computer science and a professor at Georgetown University, which also happens to be my alma matter. Go Whiz. Then there again, call to action to join Cal's newsletter. Sign up to join more than 70,000 subscribers who have Cal's essays delivered straight to their inbox. Good thing to know, right? Like 70,000 subscribers. So that is a way to build social proof. All right. Here I love this. Cal has, since he's both a general writer for the public and a professor, he has this separate breakdown. New York Times bestseller, and then Georgetown professor. So there's this division. By the way, if you're liking this content, then please like this channel. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment below so I know that you want more of this type of material. All right, so here are the articles. So here, this continues. This is Cal's articles for a general audience, his articles for his academic audience, and then these are the books that he's trying to sell. And this is really interesting. He puts these arrows and these call to actions because the arrows make it more likely that you're going to click on these things. They're very effective, and so that's why if you ever see arrows and calls to actions, that's why they're very effective. Here's a summary of Cal Newport, and here's his contact info. And then here he has his scholarship, writing, essays, press, contact. So again, if I were to change, this is a pretty good website as is. I think if I were to change anything, I would put a call to action here to join his newsletter, so that no matter where you are on his website, you know and you're reminded to join his newsletter. And maybe I would add a freebie as well, just like we saw on the James Clear website. There was a second freebie about joining habits. Okay, so that is the summary of the James Clear and Cal Newport website. Again, if you want more content than like this, then please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment below. Great, have a great day.